Good morning. So the goal of this little section is just to transform our understandings from Constantine to ultimately the fall of the Roman Empire in the West. So that's the goal here. So we start off just talking about Christianity, and we've been talking about that a bit. But if you look at number one here, number one is the C, that's just Constantine, right? The first Christian emperor. And after that, shortly after that, we see another guy named Theodosius, who is very important as well. He developed something known as the Edict of Theodosius, and this is the edict that makes Christianity the state religion of Rome. Like, this is a huge deal because Christianity has come from being outlawed and persecuted to now being the state religion. So Theodosius essentially bans all the other Roman gods and has like statues destroyed, etc., etc. Christianity really rises in its power in the empire. However, during this, after Theodosius and within, probably 100 or 150 years or so, the tribes in the north, the Germanic tribes, there's no such thing as Germany, right? They're just Germanic. These tribes, a whole bunch of different tribes. And they slowly invade the empire on the fringes, and they move more and more and get more and more powerful. And it's this slow invasion, plus you add in the conversion to Christianity, that the Germanic tribes take a larger and larger role in the running of the empire, and ultimately in the fall of the empire. And so we see the first sort of significant fall of the empire in the 400s, the late 400s. In the West. So Italy, France, like all those things, they all fall, and to essentially back into sort of small parts. It becomes much more ruled by warlords or by tribes, and you have all kinds of different tribes that sort of run through the area. So we talk about the fall of the Roman Empire. That's this part. But in the East, or in Constantinople, the East is still very strong. It stays strong for another 1,000 years, essentially, because it has better government, it has much more wealth. So the eastern side of the empire stays strong. This eastern side is known as the Byzantine Empire. So you have the western side, and then you have the Byzantine side. We'll talk more about that division later. But you see, the East stays strong until about the year 1453, where we see an invasion, or a series of invasions, actually. This period of a weak western side, weak Italy, France, etc., is known traditionally as the Dark Ages. Now, we've talked about the Greek Dark Ages. This is the European Dark Ages, but for us, historically, it's just known as the Dark Ages. And this is the period essentially where the Western world there's no real government, and there's no sort of central authorities. There's no one running, fixing roads or fixing aqueducts or medical care or really much of anything in terms of advancement. So this period is known as the Dark Ages, and that is the beginning of our next section.